Alright guys, today is guys and girls. Girls and guys, women and men, boys, humans. Hello. Alright everyone, today is August 8th, 2019, and I'm going back to the last papers I did my research on. Then I have to start doing more research, and I've got a pile to do research. Some I already know that I don't need to be focused on, and some just I know. Don't know how to explain that. Alright, here we go. First of all, I want you to know these are my Tom Cruise sunglasses. I don't buy Tom Cruise sunglasses, but if Tom Cruise made sunglasses, they'd look very much like this. Like the Top Gun 2020 glasses, right? And also, I had an itch, sorry. Also, I buy my sunglasses from St. Vincent de Paul because they're 50 cents a piece, or at a garage sale for a quarter, as I drop them and break them, and so I'm not justifying anything more than a quarter to break. So, alright, I have my last two sunglasses. That's a little ditty on sunglasses. And my last two papers, and they're actually pretty focused on 5G networks. Alright, let's go back, way back to this spring of 2019, where the Hawaii CEO was detained and arrested in Canada. She is actually the daughter of the founder of CEO, and I'm sorry I cannot remember her name. I guess I thought I'd remember it, and I don't. So I should have researched that before I made this video. But Google CEO or Hawaii executive detained in Canada, and you'll have that name. If it's so important. It's not that important to what I'm discussing. Anyways, Canada assisted us in detaining her as she had information about Iran receiving technical espionage from America. America officials believed that she had leaked our information to Iran. So we wanted to question her. And so we detained her. And that's when, in general, the distrust for Hawaii began. Was not only did their business partners and business people, not only did they conglomerate around America to sell our information, but there was another element to 5G that is incredibly unhealthy. So, first of all, we don't trust their officials. Second of all, in the countries like England and somewhere, either Norway, Finland, or Sweden, I'm not quite sure which, somewhere in those three, the birds were flying, they hit something, and they just fall out of the sky. Bam, dead. Okay? As well as in the sea. Now, 5G networks can be used in submarines. They're not, I would not think they're very efficient, because they're very tiny waves. These are microwaves. They're like short little waves. It's like a microwave. Yes, you're correct. It is. When I said microwave, you probably thought of the thing you put your leftovers in. Correct. But it's much more powerful, but spread out. So instead of the microwave beams that microwave on your food, 5G is a little more, excuse me, I need my coffee. 5G is a little more distributed in the area, but we're going to get to that. So what happened is, when I believe they use this information in submarines to because 5G is, it makes your download way faster. It downloads movies, makes the internet faster. That's about it. That's all it does. It doesn't like make your service better. Like you're driving around and you lose your bars and you can't make a phone call. that is not because you didn't have 5G. That's because you ran away from a tower in your car, on your feet, on a bike, and you were at lost service. So it has nothing to do with making the service better. It has everything to do with making the internet faster. Be clear on that. So I believe they used it in the submarine, so they'd shoot off the 5G to download some information of whatnot. I don't know. Maybe they wanted to watch a movie. Maybe they wanted to watch Snake Eyes by Nicolas Cage. Who knows? Anyhow, these animals in the sea would get hit, bam, with this microwave and die. So it's a very intense wave. It's like a weapon, right? So if you can imagine these 5G towers being put up they're not, you gotta have them all over the place because they're a very tiny wave. You can't just be like, there's one over here, there's one over there. No, they have to be strategically placed. Then you're on your cell phone, you're talking on Facebook, so you're drawing the network, you're drawing the microwaves. Those waves are going right into your brain, and you're gonna see an increase in brain cancer. If you haven't noticed, it's already increased. Children that have cell phones attached to their heads because they're on them all the time talking or whatever, there's an increase in brain cancer because their brains are not developed to deal with these microwaves going into their head. You know, I think that's why we have created such a text culture and an avoidance of a phone call culture, because it was just a general understanding to put the cell phone away from the brain and texting, though the light is not the greatest for your eyes. But you know what? Advancement always costs something. So let's talk about, first of all, I have the USA Today paper marked June 20th, 2019. I'm just going to read this part real quick. It's and this is the national, you know, every state something, okay? And it says, Wisconsin, Madison, the state assembly has passed a bill that would limit the regulation of 5G or small cell technology. So basically, Wisconsin is going to limit the regulation. So Wisconsin is going to allow these cell phone towers to do what they want. They're going to blast the crap out of us. I don't know if you've noticed this. Have you people noticed this? That the legislators of Wisconsin are like, are you going to pay me? I'll pass this. Because we can't get medical marijuana passed, but we can get a 5G network with limited regulations passed very quickly. I don't know why you guys keep voting in Voss and voting in Fitzgerald, voting in all these corrupt old dudes that don't give a crap about their constituents, that only care about their bank accounts. Do you know how wealthy Voss is? He owns property in Whitewater, Wisconsin, which is a college town, and he's a total slumlord. Research it. So, moving on. On June 18th, 2 days before this passed, or was known to pass, Hawaii projects $30 billion revenue hit from U.S. ban. So, the Wisconsin people were like, we're going to take that money, even though we know that 5G network is not the Hawaii. Maybe what 5G network is Wisconsin going to get? Because Hawaii is the biggest builder of 5G. You see 5G, if you watch videos from the Middle East, you see these 5G satellites periodically on the highways. That's how frequent they have to be. They have to be placed on the highways. You just have to, like, I think the one I was watching, some dude got in a car or was riding a bike, you know those accident videos, and he was riding his bike and he hit something and fell off his bike, and I was like, that's a 5G satellite or whatever it is. And so there's only sand in the desert, so they don't really have to worry about natural wildlife. The camels aren't falling over from the 5G. But the Hawaii project's $30 billion revenue hit from U.S. ban. So Wisconsin governor people were like, damn, we need that money. Come on over and fry our brains, please. Hawaii, the largest maker of networking equipment and the #2 maker of smartphones, is reeling following a Commerce Department move till last month to restrict the ability of supplies to sell to U.S. technology manufacturers, sellers, whatever. So they can't sell their ZTE phones. And you know, I don't like ZTE phones. And Virgin Mobile contracts ZTE, by the way. And Virgin Mobile is owned by Mr. Branson, Richard Branson, and he has been to Epstein Island many times. He looks kind of like to tell you the truth, Richard Branson looks like a zombie. Like, he looks dead already. I don't know if he's gonna die, but he looks like he's just kind of, his body and him are just kind of hanging out waiting for that day. Maybe he thinks he's gonna ascend. I don't know. He definitely is not ascending the way he's looking. He better eat. Dude, you need some like carrot juice, or I don't know. You just look real terrible. So, Hawaii procured $11 billion worth of U.S. technology last year out of a total procurement budget of $70 billion. $11 billion to $70 billion, according to the company. Hawaii has grown sharply over the years and has made quick inroads in networking equipment and smartphones, with revenue growing 20%. In the first quarter, it surpassed Apple Incorporated to become the second largest maker of smartphones behind Samsung. Samsung is a Chinese company too, I think. So this is really a Chinese smartphone war, which we don't have nothing to do with. That's all them, because they make all those phones. But what we do have something to do with, and what we can control, is whether or not we have 5G networks in our environment and state. 5G networks send out a microwave that will harm you. It will hurt you. It is proven that small microwaves, you stick something into a microwave and cook it, it cooks it. This is just going to be, it's not going to be like you're sticking yourself in a microwave. No, you're not going to like be in a box, but it's going to be directed everywhere. The 5G is going to be coming off everywhere. So regardless if you have a cell phone or not, and that beam is directed towards your device, anyone in the area, especially anyone living where they put a 5G tower, is going to be constantly bombarded by this microwave, which is going to cause health issues. So again, our government is ignoring health-related issues to advance company wishes, and especially Wisconsin. And I am so sick of Wisconsin and the legislator just doing what they want, not listening to voters. I really, really hope that Wisconsin voters turn out in 2020 and tell these guys exactly what they think of their jobs. I am not Democrat, I am not Republican, I am for people. And when people say, we do not want this, or we want this, and they're ignored, that government needs to bounce. Because it's we the people on the Constitution, not we Robert Voss or we Scott Fitzgerald, okay? Or we the Republicans. None of that. It's gonna be nice today. And here, leading into all that, I have a newspaper dated June 25th, 2019, Cannabis, CBD, and Blossoming. So, this is a CBD and cannabis encouraging article by the Marshall News Herald, which is a Jeanette company. And it says acceptance grows as products cater to health wellness needs. So people are starting to recognize that marijuana is not, the Wood County Sheriff Sean Becker's like, it's a gateway drug. Let me tell you something, bro. Cigarettes are a gateway drug. Alcohol is a gateway drug, okay? Abuse is a gateway drug. Marijuana just happens to be a plant that the government decided was illegal because the pharmaceutical companies didn't want us to get better. They wanted us to stay sick, Mr. Becker. I don't know why you can't read. Anyways, so this is, here we have some dude, his name apparently is Tim Murphy, he's hanging out there. He's talking about how his father, who was a baby boomer more than likely, viewed marijuana, and this is a very predominant baby boomer mentality. Baby boomer mentality, if you want a perfect right-wing baby boomer mentality, I suggest just imagining your Full Metal Jacket guy, that military dude. He just passed away, and he's like screaming at everyone that his way, the way, no other way. Okay, that's how I view the baby boomer right-wing guy. Just not listening, completely ignoring the rest of the world. His way, the way, no other way. So he said, even till the day my dad died, he was semi-against it, even though I started treating him with CBD. It was actually helping, but even then he was like, goddamn wacky tobacco. I can't believe they put the swear words in the front of the page. That's funny, because this community is like, hail Christianity, hail Catholicism, hail all that. So he's saying what I just am explaining as a personality trait, that even when a baby boomer that's so right is proven, hey, this can help people, they stick to what they have been programmed to. And that's why we as Wisconsin really need our millennial moderates to step up to the plate, that have done the research, done the search and opinion, changing their opinion, to go, listen, we are not going to accept that fallacy in thought anymore, because Generation X does not have the population to change this. We're the middle generation. We're between baby boomer and millennial. We don't have the voice. And the super leftist millennials, if you want like a kind of a caricature of them in your head, think about like the Big Lebowski or something like that. Just think about like people that did not, just dropped out of society, like the whole 60s and 70s revolution, Woodstock, the Summer of Love, 68, 69. They just did not care. They did what they wanted, and there was such a large group of them. If you watch Murder Mountain on Netflix, it's great documentary on how marijuana growing in a certain part of California became dangerous because it's not regulated, and then once they regulate it, they over-regulate it, and so people continue to grow it illegally because little farmers can't afford to grow it. They made it so you have to be a large farm, so that a pharmaceutical company can run it. That's how they've made it with legalization. And legalization is a plant. It's like a tomato plant, but it doesn't grow tomatoes. Okay, you don't regulate tomatoes. You don't get so crazy about tomatoes. But we get super crazy about marijuana, because what if it falls in the hands of children? Dude, how many underage drinking tickets do you guys give out every summer? What if alcohol falls in the wrong hands of the children? I don't see alcohol getting swiped off the shelves. Like, we got to protect our children. How many tobacco products fall into the hands of children? How many, like, when wasn't there's a kid in Rapids that was smoking their Juul? They lit their Juul and someone thought it was a bomb or some crap, and they called the police. This is a dumb argument. Everything falls into the hands of children when people are not paying attention to children. And children are really good at finding things that they should not get into. They're like puppies, you know what I mean? You leave them alone and they don't know not to chew on the cords, and they start chewing on cords, and it's like, dang it, you just chewed on my phone cord for the 400th time. I should have put that up. Puppies don't know. Children don't know. Don't touch that. Well, you're touching it. You're sitting there smoking a cigarette. Don't smoke like me. Whatever. Okay? You got an alcoholic parent. The kid's going to grow up and be an alcoholic because, first of all, it's in their genes. Second of all, it's in their environment. So, you know, this whole, well, the children, get out of that brain thought. The children have been affected by our environment. In Twitter, we were talking about the next few generations won't even have the resources the baby boomers had. Millennials and Generation Z will not have the retirement funds. Companies are dropping pensions. Companies are dropping benefits like crazy. They don't want to pay out retirement benefits, even though people pay into them out of their paychecks. They don't want to hold on to it. They don't want to be responsible for it. If they go bankrupt, everyone loses that anyway. So they're like, we're just not going to do it. That's the state of fucking craziness we're in. So you have to invest into some kind of account yourself that's not matched by your company, and that's not, I would not invest in any kind of stock market investment, because you just don't know what the hell that thing's gonna do. It's not like it's predictable. I think that the future generations that are wealthy will just put money away themselves. But it's not money that's the problem, it's the natural resources of this planet, the state of toxicity in the environment. The state of toxicity environment reflects the state of toxicity in our minds. We knew 20 years ago, herbicide, pesticide, and animal fecal matter runoff was affecting the waters, the rivers in our area. And we did not care, and now, 20 years later, our water smells like bleach. So, just recognize that you have a chance here in your life to change things. That's what QAnon is about. It's about peaceful change. You have a chance in your life to change things peacefully, and we're at that time and place. And Wisconsin needs a tremendous amount of change. The extreme conservative old grandpa mentality is failing us all. Thank you for listening.